All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first review after a quick summer break for B2VB Basics. We are in week 14. Our topic for this week was to build a unit chart. We were looking at data from Evian that tells us how many glasses of water we should be drinking according to age, gender, and condition. Unit charts are just a really creative way to show how our data compares to other items in our categorical data. Using something like a shape or a pictogram kind of creates a fun way to show data. So we typically see these in a lot of infographics. The dashboards that were submitted for this week were very creative, lots of really great ones. So it was hard to pick a few just to showcase for our review. But thank you for all those that did participate. So let's go ahead and get started. So don't forget, just as a reminder for those that might be joining us for the first time or for those that are new, all of our data and challenges can be found on data.world. We give you some supportive information in here. We give you the data here at the bottom. And then we typically give you some ideas around how to get started or certain things to consider within your chart or for things for that challenge for that week. So if you're lost, this is where you can find everything. Be sure to share your visualizations on LinkedIn, on Twitter, whatever you're comfortable with. Be sure to tag our B2VB Basics team and ask for feedback if you would like it. This is how we typically pick out the visualizations that are seeking feedback, and someone on our team will reach out to you to do that. And also make sure you follow Shreya on LinkedIn and Twitter. She shares tips for all of our challenges. So if you're interested in how you can build a better unit chart, Shreya shares these with every challenge that we have, which are just some small, simple tips just to enhance your visualization. So these are great, and you should try to incorporate them into your visualization if you haven't already. So be sure to follow her and check these out. Finally, as a reminder, we do have a submission tracker on Tableau Public. This is where we track all submissions that are submitted through our Google form. So if you're not seeing your visualization in here, that means that you probably did not incorporate it in or submit it in the Google form. So make sure that you're doing that for everything that you want to get credit for. It's a great way to kind of track your progress throughout the year, as well as just check out some other dashboards that others have submitted. So if you click on one of these links, it'll take you to that dashboard if that individual has provided the link. So definitely do that if you want to kind of keep track of your progress over time. All right, so enough of the housekeeping stuff. Let's get into our actual visualizations here. So our first one comes from Coolthum. I think this one is a very simple unit chart, very creative here, just in terms of kind of showing the difference between how much water a lactating woman needs versus 1 to 3 year olds. So, we can very easily see that kind of, by the similar to a bar chart, just the how many that we're seeing, right? It communicates the value. So it's very visually appealing to our eyes and makes it a little bit easier and quicker for users to understand. So I think just in terms of some general feedback around this one, I really like how it's very simple. We're not using too many dominating colors. All of our icons kind of have the same weight and color, and we're not using an outline of an icon versus a filled icon. So keeping things consistent throughout the dashboard. So thank you for participating and great work. Jumping over to our next visualization, let me see if I can zoom in on this and make it a little bit bigger for folks. I think that kind of works. All right, so our next one here comes from Medea. I love how just like of an infographic this one is. Like I love the little bubbles in the background, and kind of just the image to the right hand side here. So we have a little bit of supporting information here. Everything is left aligned, so staying consistent with our alignment. Select an option below to look at the recommended amount of water you should be drinking daily. So let's see if I click on our first one here, which is our demographic 1 to 2 years. Click here on 2 to 3. We can see how the chart on the right updates. So we are looking at the percentage water from beverages We have some information around at the bottom, our total water intake and the number of glasses recommended daily at the bottom. So I love how interactive this chart is and how it changes as I click on the different options here for our age, gender, or our condition. Wonderful creativity here. I love the color, the choice of colors here. It's kind of sticking with the water theme with like a different shades of blue. So overall, great work, and thank you for participating. One thing I do want to call out here, make sure that if you are getting your ideas, let me zoom out. I don't think you can see it on my screen. If you're getting your ideas from other individuals, make sure that you give them credit. This is an option within Tableau Public to give inspiration to someone else that you got their ideas from. So you can see that Medea got their ideas from the filled circle charts here by Toan. So make sure that you fill that out as well. All right, our next one comes from Archie. Let me zoom out. Okay, I think everyone can see that now. All right, so we have our bar chart on the left-hand side, which is showing the recommended total water intake in liters versus the recommended daily water intake from beverages in liters. So we can see here just how that compares to the overall and what you are getting from beverages. And then we have our unit chart on the right-hand side, which shows that 1 unit is equal to 250 milliliters. So every glass is 250 milliliters of water. So really interesting as we go down, and we can kind of see how it shifts between boys and girls, and then teen, adult, men, and women. And we can see here just kind of the shift in the recommended total intake and the water that we are getting from beverages in liters as well. I really like the layout of this chart. I believe this is, a download button to export to an image. So we can kind of take this with us as a quick little printout. But overall, great choice of colors and just the layout of the dashboard. So thank you for participating and sharing your work. All right, our next to last visualization comes from Caroline Swigger. Here we have just a very simple unit chart here with our demographic table going down the left-hand side, the recommended water intake from beverages, and then our unit chart to the right-hand side. So, Caroline, I don't know, this might be your first participation in Back to Viz Basics. I can't remember, but thank you for joining us. But yeah, overall, very simple visualization. Again, very clear communication with just our table format here and the unit chart as well. So thank you for participating. And finally, wanted to share something that was definitely on the more creative end, definitely a little bit more technical and complicated. So this one comes from Hideki. Hideki, I think every visualization that you share always has some very interesting layout or a little bit more of an advanced technique to it. So thank you for always participating and sharing these. So we do have an option here to switch between men and women. Again, each square represents a cup of water. And then we can kind of go along this path here of growth. So we can look at water intake for 1 to 2 years old, 2 to 3. Then we get the split here, which we can highlight by changing this option here, which I'll do in just a second. And then what I like here is, right, as we go from teens to adults, right, if there is, if somebody does become pregnant, right, we have kind of this break from the path, or we have this dotted line that takes us right to elderly. So just a very interesting use of the visualization and kind of almost like a Sankey flow chart here. I think this was great. I love just the format of this, the layout, definitely a little bit more advanced. So if you're interested, you could download this and kind of pick this apart. But what I also like is I get context with the Viz in tooltip as I hover over each square. So it shows me just the total intake that we should be seeing, total water intake from beverages and then from non-beverages. So it gives me that breakout in a simple donut chart with the Viz in tooltip. And if I switch the parameter here from women to men, then it will highlight that section as well and give me some supporting information here down below. So awesome work, and thank you for sharing. That is all the time we have today. Be on the lookout for another challenge coming this Monday. Reminder, I know we took a break here in the summer, but just in terms of our release schedule, so we release a prompt every 2 weeks. Within that first week, Shreya will release her tips. Within the second week, I will do a video review. Make sure that if you want to get included in this video review, that you're submitting your visualization in our submission tracker. That is where I go to pull up the visualizations for each challenge. And again, if you're looking for feedback, ask for it and share your work on LinkedIn or Twitter. Thank you to everybody that has participated throughout the year so far. If you are looking to kind of get recognized for participating all challenges, take some time and play a little bit of catch up. I think we have just a few folks here that have completed all of our 14 challenges for this year. So if you want to join that club, it looks like we have some folks that are close. Make sure you get those in. And thank you again for just always supporting our project. We'll see you next time. Thank you.